Democrats and Republicans remain in a standoff. President Trump is suggesting a more drastic measure to reopen the government. Let's go to Emma Withrow from the Fact Check team. And this is being called the nuclear option. It would drastically change the way the Senate operates. Yeah. Tell us more.
Yeah, absolutely it would. I mean, so the nuclear option, which is officially known as the reform by ruling, is really when only a simple majority of senators passes a new Senate precedent. So basically the Senate doesn't have to rewrite its official rule book to get rid of the filibuster. It can really just reinterpret the rules if they have 51 votes to agree with them.
So how would it all play out if Senate Republicans got on board with the nuclear option to just get rid of the filibuster?
So from my understanding, a senator would challenge how a rule is being applied. The person running the floor makes a ruling, and then the full Senate can vote on whether or not to uphold or overturn it. So a simple majority, 51 senators to vote on that to overturn the ruling, that new interpretation then would become the new precedent. It's really a way to change the system without the supermajority that's normally required to change the rules on paper. But even Republican senators have said that they wouldn't be willing to take this approach because it would open Pandora's box when it comes to passing legislation with just a simple majority rather than those 60 votes that are normally required. So it would really just give an unprecedented amount of power to whichever party is controlling both chambers in the White House.
And also interesting, Senate Majority Leader Thune breaking with Trump on this, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how far this goes. Emma, thank you.
Thanks.
Later on, Emma will be back to break down when the nuclear option was used in the past. President Trump is pushing Senate Republicans to desert negotiations with Democrats and use the nuclear option to eliminate the filibuster and reopen the government. This comes as we are on the cusp of breaking the record of the longest government shutdown in American history. Let's go to Emma Withrow from the Fact Check team. And earlier you explained the context behind the nuclear option. Tell us more about how many times this has been invoked.
Yeah, so both parties have pushed this button at one point or another. In 2011, also in 2013, the Democrats used the nuclear option to reinterpret a rule so executive branch and lower court judicial nominees could be advanced with a simple majority, not 60, which is the supermajority. Also in 2017, Republicans applied the same precedent to Supreme Court nominations, ending the 60-vote threshold there as well. So yeah, definitely both parties have used it at one point or another.
Yeah, and for various reasons, such as nominations, as you mentioned. This time it's for legislation, and that seems to be, you know, the key difference here in this instance, right?
Yeah, that's the big sticking point. It's about the legislation now. I mean, the main concern for both Republicans and Democrats is that if they change the rules to get rid of the legislative filibuster, passing legislation without the required supermajority of 60 votes would give a whole lot more power to whichever party has control of Congress and also the White House. So it wouldn't really just change how the Senate operates. It would kind of change what the Senate is. I mean, the minority party would lose almost all of its leverage to block or negotiate bills. It would also shift the Senate from a chamber built on consensus and debate to one that more so functions like the House does right now, where it's like majority rules, minority sidelines.
All right, interesting topic. Emma, thank you.
Thanks.
For more on this Fact Check team topic, including links to Emma's sources, scan the QR code or visit the National